Okay, okay, okay.
Hey you, hey you, how y'all doing? Um, let me fix my OBS really quick. Um, yep. All right, got it. How have y'all been? It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I've got a few videos I've been meaning to react to lined up here. So however we feel about it, we can get in whenever. Just gonna chat for a bit though. It's been a crazy few weeks, I have to say. It's been a crazy few weeks. But, hey, we're going. We're going. The pace is keeping up. I've been just chilling, doing whatevs. Hopefully y'all have been good as well. But for now, maybe we get into some reacts really quick. I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we get into some reacts, or maybe we just chill. Anything could be anything. Could be anything. But yeah. No, I will never update this. Much color. Actually, I probably will. It'll just be a bit. But yeah. I've got some videos lined up for us. Just a few out of the like 600 in my watch later on YouTube. But whenever y'all are ready, we can get into it. And let me switch over to this. Here we go. Here we have it. Here it is. I'll mute the music because I forgot to do that last time. I'm a good streamer now, guys. Alrighty. There it is. So, this is the first video I had lined up, but I don't think we're gonna do this one just yet because it is like an hour, 40 minutes long. So, for now, I'll just go on to another one that I had lined up, but this one is equally as interesting. I promise. I promise, guys. It's interesting as well, guys. Promise. Um, sorry. Gosh, my laptop is. Oh yeah, speaking of, have y'all seen the new Ananta game? A lot of people are like trashing on it for copying or taking elements from other games, but personally, I don't really care that much. If people want to, if they wanted to make the game and they were able to, and they aren't getting in trouble with another, like they aren't getting in trouble with the other devs because the other publishers and development teams that were behind all these games that it's taking from haven't said anything. So I personally don't think anything's wrong with it, but I have seen people get mad over it, which is like, come on, bro, it's just a game. It's not that big of a deal. Let me hold on. I'll do that. Okay. 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 This one. I found a shorter one. It's not like we also can't just look for some on stream, but this one was an interesting video. It came out like a few like 2 weeks ago. Very interesting. Hold on, I'll bring it on the screen in a sec. Give me 1 second. Here we go. And here. Can one of every Pokemon beat 1 billion lines by Logan Mites Small creator, same as me. Go subscribe to him. I'm pretty sure he could use the love. I personally haven't watched this video yet. Like it, see how it goes, 1080p, and before anything else, let's like go support the original creator right there, Logan Mites. I'll have um his channel and the video, the original video in the description for anybody to watch. Make sure you like it. Make sure you like that video and this video so we both get some love. And let's see. Can one of every Pokemon beat 1 billion lives?
Good morning or good afternoon. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm here to talk to you about the age-old question, could one of every Pokemon beat 1 billion lions in a fight?
10 seconds in, pausing, I know. But I have a good reason for this. I have seen this argument so many times in the past 5 years, it has genuinely gotten me mad. And I know a lot of the people who side with the Lions are like rage baiting, and they don't actually believe that because at the end of the day, they are literally just animals up against superpowered creatures. So it would literally be impossible for like the Lions to beat the Pokemon, not to mention the crazy fucking powers that all the Pokemon have. But even just giving the benefit of the doubt, what the hell would 1 billion lions do when they're thrown into the surface of the sun? What would they do when they're faced with the light of Jesus Christ? Nothing. They could not do anything. I'm sorry. They could not do anything. So there's my stance. Literally one Pokemon could wipe out all 1 billion lions easily, but let's see this.
It's a pretty simple question. Some would say too simple. Actually, I
Yep.
think the vague definition of it is what
Yep.
prompts the interest. So
Yep. Yep.
I think that just as it's asked, most people tend to just think about them all squaring up in real life. And
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with this is because people, like, the human mind can't comprehend large numbers. Like, we can't picture how large 1 billion of something is because it's just out of the scope of the human mind. If we were to physically see it, we would be like, oh, so that's 1 billion or something. But like, just in general, the human mind can't comprehend 1 billion of something, let alone 1 billion lines. So I think when people think of 1 billion lines versus every Pokemon, they instantly are like, oh, well, that's 1 billion. 1 billion's a big number. Even if they have all of these Pokemon, which is like 1,000 of, it would be impossible to destroy 1 billion lions. But you have to remember that Pokemon has a rat that can tune up its voltage to match that of the surface of the sun. And yes, I'm talking about Pikachu. It is unfathomably, like, insane to believe that the Lions could win this. I'm sorry. You need to be put in a mental asylum if you genuinely think that the Lions can beat, that 1 billion Lions can beat one of every Pokemon. It literally requires one Pokemon to beat all 1 billion.
facing off, which is very hard to imagine, by the way. 1 billion is a very big number. I don't really
Yep,
know what that would
exactly
look like. It
like
would
I
be like
said.
a thronging mass of lions. It would be
Yep,
disturbing, I think.
exactly like I said. Yep.
But I think if you were to square them all up and
I
just a
swear I
free
haven't
for all fight in
pre-watched
the real
this.
world, I don't think it's particularly hard to come up with the answer. Pokemon are magical creatures to begin with, and some of them are like gods or
Yeah,
aliens or
yeah,
mythological beasts. They
yep.
would find a way to win pretty easily. I mean, even normal Pokemon, there's one that's like hotter than the
Then the
sun.
surface of the sun. Yep.
What did Google think I was searching there, by the way?
Who
Anyway,
knows?
I think under that definition, it's pretty easy that the Pokemon would win. So
Yes.
I was kind of thinking, what if they fought in a Pokemon battle. I mean, for
In a
all the talk about
Pokemon
how
battle.
Pokemon are gods or whatever, the
Well, if we're thinking about it, like, okay, disregard the fact that if it were like a real life battle, no like turn based rules, just straight action, that one of every Pokemon easily washes 1 billion lions. I think it's just a bigger stomp when you put them in a Pokemon battle. Because, like, what's the worst case scenario? Like, they have to fight, like, one Pokemon goes in and has to fight all 1 billion at the same time, or like it's a 1049 versus 1 billion fight, and all the Pokemon fight one line, like a few, like however many lions, whatever that math is. I don't feel like doing it. At a time in a like team battle. If we're thinking about it in that way, then yeah, the Lions still get stomped. I genuinely do not see a way for the Pokemon to lose this or the Lions to win this. Unless you come up with some crazy fucking out of this world, incomprehensible shit like Lion Jacket. Yes, I am calling out Jaden Animations on this. Lion Jacket is not a viable explanation.
the highest of the high and the lowest of the rats can be pecked to death by a bird in the Pokemon
Yep.
world. So instead, I'm going to say, if it was a trainer Pokemon battle, like you just had a billion lions and one of every Pokemon, all facing off against each other, who would win within the rules of the Pokemon world?
Okay.
Ironically,
Yeah.
having this take place in the Pokemon world with Pokemon rules makes it a lot harder for the Pokemon. Immediately,
disagree,
1
but
billion is a
okay.
very big number. Pokemon
Yeah.
don't have an infinite number of moves. They can only do each of their moves a set number of times, for which they have power points or PP.
Oh,
And
gosh.
once they run out, Pokemon are reduced to using a move called Struggle, which damages themselves.
Yeah.
If you take all Pokemon and you add up all the total number of moves they have, even if you were to do things like enhance the number of power points they had available to them, they would not get anywhere close to 1 billion. So even if every single Pokemon was able to kill one lion with every single one of its moves, there would still be lions left over. So
Yeah,
that's
of
our first
course.
problem. A billion traffic cones would give Pokemon a problem for this reason. Okay,
Okay,
line them
yeah.
up. They don't even have to do anything. So the first thing we need to do is find a
But one thing you're not considering are moves that hit an entire team. Probably gonna, he might bring this up later on in the video, but there are moves that can target the entire enemy team that is on the field. And if you add all of that together, then it is possible for them to like, max 64 power points per move, and you boom, boom, boom. Like, if you have an entire roster of 1,025 Pokemon with moves that hit an entire team, like the entire enemy field, sorry, the entire enemy field, then I'd say it can get pretty close to 1 billion. Don't quote me on that. I
way
don't
of
feel like doing that
restoring
math.
power points, giving ourselves infinite ones. Uh, and just if you're thinking off the top of your head that that's not the only thing to do, maybe it isn't. If at any point in the video I say something and you think that you have a very strong reasoning for why that's wrong or there's an alternate solution, please leave a comment in the video. There's, it's important to try to bait engagement, even if you make one video every year and exclusively post it as an unlisted link in various Discord servers. That's the type of content creator I am, but doesn't stop me from doing the things I see
You know
other
what?
people do.
I'll subscribe. I'll subscribe.
But yeah,
I'll
as far as I can
subscribe.
tell, we really
I'll
are going to need
subscribe.
to find a
I'll
way to
subscribe.
restore
I'll
power points.
subscribe.
I don't see a different way of stretching this out. I looked into stuff like entry hazards, 3v3 battles, trying to do anything you can to stretch it out, and there's just not enough juice in the squeeze. we
Okay.
need to restore power points. And as far as I can tell, the best way to do this is with a Lepa Berry. A
Yeah.
Lepa Berry is an item that can be held by a Pokemon before the battle begins, and when the Pokemon runs out of power points on one of its moves, it immediately eats the Lepa Berry, restoring 10 power points for that move. On its
Yeah.
own, this only gives us 10 additional power points, but Lepa Berries can be regenerated by a few methods. For example, Snorlax has a move called
Regenerator.
Recycle, which will allow it to
Recycle,
restore a
regenerator,
berry it's previously eaten. And an ability called Harvest allows Pokemon to
harvest, yeah.
regenerate berries that they've already eaten. So, with either of these ways to regenerate berries, we can beat our 1 billion traffic cones. But the lions aren't just going to sit there and do nothing, they're going to do things on their own. They're not traffic cones, they're not even Magikarp. We're going to need to account for that as well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so in Pokemon Showdown, which is the simulator I'm using for this, the simulator, it's the Pokemon battle system I'm using to test these games. I need
Pokemon Showdown? It's alright.
to create a lion
Who
Pokemon.
knows why it's still
And
in
I
beta?
figured the best way to do
I
this
give
would
up.
be
I give up on
jeez,
questioning why things are in beta.
find a normal type Pokemon that, because I figure a lion would be a normal type, right? It really exists
Yeah.
in real life, and you can't get more normal than that, right? So I figure find a normal type Pokemon that has the appearance and vibes of a lion and assign it some moves that a lion would have. I picked Persian, which is a big cat, and it's a normal type.
Fair enough.
Persian has the ability to learn psychic moves and all this, but I'm just going to give it the moves Bite, Scratch, Growl, and Roar. I think these are a very good set of moves
Yeah.
to go with the line. They're all things. They're just all moves that I think seemed like something a line would do when I looked at the move list. There's other things that a line could technically do. I mean, who's to say a line couldn't leer at you? But these are the moves I picked, and it was actually pretty interesting because they posed an interesting set of challenges. Let's take a moment to talk about these moves. Scratch just deals damage. It's pretty straightforward. Bite deals damage but also has a chance to make its target flinch. Growl lowers the target's attack stat, and Roar switches the target out for a randomly chosen other Pokemon on that team.
Yeah.
For a single lion, this isn't too hard to deal with, but this brings us to our second problem, which is 1 billion is still a very large number. The damage from those scratches and bites are going to add up, and if you get hit with enough growls, you'll barely be doing any damage yourself. Even worse, 1 billion is such a large number that anything that has a chance to go wrong probably will. So,
Yeah.
Bite has a 30% chance of making its target flinch. Realistically, we could be flinching 10 times back to back if we don't do anything about that. Now, Growl can be counted.
One thing I will say is that there are some systems in place in normal Pokemon games uh to prevent like multiple instances of like flinching, sleeping, and stuff like that. Usually in competitive or uh usually in competitive, though it is like in some regular play, it has been there. So plus you have to factor in abilities like Lucario's, or like not just Lucario's, but you have to factor in abilities like Inner Focus, which prevents flinching. So I like there's a bit that could go wrong there.
By not using physical attacks. Physical attacks use the attack stat, which is what Growl lowers, but
Yeah,
special attacks use the special attack stat, which is not lowered by Growl. So if we just use special attacks, we don't have to worry about Growl at all. The damage from Bite and Scratch, and also the flinching of Bite, can be countered in an even more straightforward way. We just make sure we move first every time, and we kill
yep,
with every blow we land. That way we don't have
yeah,
to worry about taking damage, and we don't have to worry about flinching, because we only
yeah,
flinch if we
pretty
move after Bite
easy.
lands. And this isn't even that complicated to do. In competitive Pokemon terms, what we're trying to do is set up a sweeper, a Pokemon that is strong enough on its own to take out every single Pokemon on the opposing team.
Yeah,
In this
exactly.
case, 1 billion lions. There are a number of different ways to set up a sweeper in Pokemon, and we have our
My favorite form of sweeper, if you can't tell, is uh Cerulege. Cerulege is my favorite Pokemon of all time. Followed very closely with Aegislash. Not basic, by the way. But Yeah, sweeping normal Pokemon shit. I feel like I don't have to explain that. Plus, I don't really want to.
Pick of the litter since we have one of every Pokemon to choose from, but the typical way of doing this is a Pokemon that uses the move Baton Pass and
Yep.
a couple of other moves that increase a stat. In our case, we'll need to increase speed so we can attack first, special attack so that our attacks can kill in one hit, and potentially defense. That last one's not super important, so if we only use one Baton Passer, we'll just be increasing special attack and speed. After this, we'll end up with a Pokemon that moves very quickly and hits very hard, but
Yeah.
the only problem is that we've given the Lion's Roar. Now, Roar is a strong counter to a sweeper setup because it switches the Pokemon out, and the replacement Pokemon doesn't get the benefits of any of the increased stats that we have. So basically, we
Yeah,
need to find a way to counter Roar, and it is not easy to do so. There's a few different
that's
ways you
true.
can stop Roar temporarily, which will help us do our Baton Pass. For example, Mr. Mime is soundproof, and Roar doesn't affect soundproof Pokemon, so
Yeah,
Mr. Mime
exactly.
could increase a couple of stats before doing a Baton Pass. And you can also use moves like Encore or Taunt to keep the Lion from using Roar for 3 moves. If you put a lion to sleep, that'll prevent it from using Roar, but it's a little bit harder to predict when the lion's going to wake up.
Yeah,
But none of
it's
these things are
possible,
really
but
going to sweep through the full 1 billion lion. For this, we're going to use the move Ingrain, which prevents us from switching out under any circumstances. We can't even intentionally switch out, and also heals us every turn. This
yeah,
is very good for
yeah,
us. It's
yeah.
the perfect
Ingrained.
counter not only to Roar, but the billion lions themselves, since it'll give us lots of longevity, and we don't have to do anything to re-up it. There aren't that many Pokemon who can use Ingrain, and thankfully Executor is one of them. This is the first
Yeah,
time I'm
that's
really
a good.
drilling down into a
Yeah,
specific Pokemon we're going to use for this run because Executor,
executor, executor.
I feel like it's supposed to be
Ah,
Executor, right? Like I feel like
executor.
the origin it's execute, like execute and then execute. So you'd think it's Executor, not like executor, like some type of legal
Executor.
thing. I guess an executor is a legal thing. Anyway, this is good because
Executor. Executor. Yeah, executor. Yeah, executor.
Executor is also one of the very few Pokemon who can use Harvest, which we've already established is one of the 2 ways we can restore power points. So, Executor
Yep.
is going to be our sweeper Pokemon. It is going to kill
Fair
1
enough.
billion lions. And we're going to need also a Baton Pass Pokemon, which I'm going to use Ambipom. So, the way we're going to
Fair
do this
enough.
is going to go something like this Ambipom's going to come in and taunt every now and again while building up special attack and speed. Then Ambipom's going to Baton Pass off to Executor. Executor is going to use Ingrain, which will hold for the duration of the fight. Then it's going to alternate between using Giga Drain. Well, it's going to use Giga Drain until it runs out of power points, and then when it runs out of power points, it'll use Sunny Day, which will turn the 50% chance of a harvest
Into
happening to a
100%.
100% chance. Remember that if something can go wrong, it will, so the 50% chance on its own means we will eventually run out of power points, even though we have a way to restore power points, just because 1 billion is such a large number.
Yeah,
We don't have to
exactly.
worry about that because we have another move slot for Sunny Day.
Ooh,
So
and a way to um increase the duration if you have a held item to oh wait, no. Stupid.
we're going to use Sunny Day under those circumstances, Giga Drain when we're not in those situations, and that's going to get us through 1 billion lions. So that's it. Every Pokemon ever can defeat 1 billion lions in combat, in a Pokemon combat. You really only need 2. It's Ambipom and Executor. It's a
Fair
monkey
enough.
in a tree.
A monkey in a tree. Peak.
Well, okay. There's just one more problem. And it's not a serious problem, but I feel I should address it. Okay,
Okay.
Pokemon have abilities, right? Like
Yeah.
Harvest is an ability. That's not a move that we use. That's just something
Yeah,
that's
it's an
true
ability.
about the Pokemon. It has ability.
Oh, talking about lions having abilities. I feel like the only abilities that I could see lions having if it were actual like an actual Pokemon battle would be inner focus and that's it. Inner
To
focus.
restore berries under these circumstances. So every Pokemon has an ability that it has, or maybe 2 abilities that we randomly choose which one it'll have. But every Pokemon also has a hidden ability that it
Hidden ability,
doesn't
yeah.
normally have. You can't. A Pokemon in the wild won't have its hidden ability, but through certain means, your Pokemon can have its hidden ability.
Yes.
Harvest is a hidden ability. Executor, in our case, only has Harvest because we're using the hidden ability. Pokemon in the wild, by default, don't use their hidden abilities. So our lions probably don't use their hidden abilities. It's questionable if a lion has an ability at all.
Yeah.
Persians, by default, have the ability Technician, but they do have a
Technician,
hidden ability
Limber,
called
Unnerve.
Unnerve,
Yeah.
and Unnerve prevents its opponent from eating berries. This is devastating to us. It prevents our strategy from working if even a few of these Persians have their hidden ability Unnerve. Now, again, under ordinary circumstances, wild Pokemon don't have hidden abilities, and it's
Yes,
questionable if a
exactly.
lion even has an ability at all, like being that it's not a Pokemon.
Kinda doubt. Sorry, I kind of doubt that a lion would have a hidden ability. Just like an ability, let alone a hidden ability. But if I did see them having one, it would probably be inner focus.
But just for fun, I prepared for this situation as well. You see, we have one more slot for Executor, one move Executor. Jeez, man,
Executive.
one slot that we haven't used yet.
Yep.
I'm going to put Worry Seed here. Worry Seed
Worry
changes
seat.
the opposing
Yeah.
Pokemon's ability to Insomnia, I think.
Insomnia. Yeah.
I'm not looking it up. I'm just freestyling this right now.
Does.
That's right. I have a pretty good understanding of which Pokemon have which abilities, so I'm just going to guess that Worry
Worry seed does in fact uh change the opposing Pokemon's ability to insomnia. That is true.
Seed changes the opposing Pokemon's ability to Insomnia. It doesn't really matter
Yeah.
what it changes it to. What's important is that it changes it from Unnerve, which allows us to eat a berry. So now, it's the same flow as before. These are all moves, except if we get in a situation where we need to eat a berry and we're against a Persian who has Unnerve,
Somehow,
we're going to use
then you would use
Worry
Worry
Seed,
seed.
and that'll get us out of that situation.
Yeah.
There we go. I think I've explained everything. With the Giga Drain
That
that we're
yeah.
using to suck the life of the lions, this is going to restore our health that we also have in Grain. And I'm not really too worried about taking attacks in the meantime. The only
Yeah,
thing,
of
and
course.
if we decided that we really were, we could introduce Mr. Mime into our play and have Mr. Mime do the soundproof defense baton pass thing I said
Yeah.
earlier, which would also
Yeah, have Mr. Mime go for like all the setup moves like plus defense, plus special attack, plus speed. Um and since it has soundproof, you can't roar it out. So you can bait out all the roars for the first lion, and then you can from there you can baton pass to Executor after all roars are used up and continue on with the strategy from there.
also give us a little more runway with Ambipom, a little cleaner. But I really wanted to make a video that said, I really wanted to make a video that had a thumbnail that goes something like this, like 1 billion. Can you defeat? I want the headline of the video. Look, okay, I'm pitching you. You're at the very end of this video, and I want to
All
pitch to you
right.
what the start of the experience looks like. I wanted to make a
Alrighty.
video
I'm here
that the
for it.
title was "Can one of every Pokemon beat 1 billion lions?" And I
Yeah,
wanted the
exactly.
thumbnail to be like, yes, it just two actually, and a picture of
That
Ambipom
is the
and
actual thumbnail. Yeah,
Executor, maybe the
Executor.
Alolan
Yeah.
version, because I think the idea that yeah, it's just a monkey in a tree does just
Just a
fine is pretty
monkey in a
funny.
tree. Yeah. That. All right. Nope. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This was a video I was saving for later. Not right now. Not right now. But um, I was looking to do this because this would directly tie into um this video. So I mean, we can do whatever. We can either watch this video first, since this was the next one that I wanted to, or we can watch the 1 hour video. If we're watching the 1 hour video, I'm gonna go get um water and food because I'm hungry right now. But if not, then we can go on ahead and watch this. I'll give me 1 second. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I am gonna go get water. That's for sure. So, um, 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 yeah, you guys, you guys go get water, use the bathroom, get your foods, because we're going on a marathon. Alrighty, we'll wait for anybody who's still here or who's still in the bathroom to come back. Make sure you got your Wawa, drink it. Been a bit. Alright, I think that's enough for now. So we will. Oh, wait. Guys. Oh, wrong one. Wrong. There we go. We are here. Let me pause background music again. Sorry about that. We are here. Time to get into the sadly political part of the stream. I want to say that I'm not a really political person, but the past 2 weeks has made that not true. I've been getting increasingly more stuff about politics and stuff. Uh, and while I will say this, I do vehemently hate politics because of how stupid people in general are. I can't exactly forfeit the fact that I have been more interested in it currently. There's a doggo outside. But yeah, just want to preface we're we are going to be getting into political stuff since, like I said before the break, this video does directly tie into this video, and we will be watching this video and maybe taking a few breaks if it gets too political, because I'm sorry, I don't want people to like be worked up over it. If you don't like my stance on politics, please be welcome to leave. Or listen if you're here to hear another side. But let's just all calm down, stop for a second, breathe, breathe in, breathe out. Just calm down. We'll get through this video. And then after that, because there are no more videos here that, like, there are no more videos relating to this topic right now that I want to look at. This is a dated video, like I said. This happened literally like few days, yeah, like 4 days after the Charlie Kirk assassination. So this is a bit dated. A lot of stuff has happened since then. But I promise you, everything will tie in. This is all part of the plan. Well, not really, but you get what I mean. Professor learns he's the racist, not Charlie Kirk, by Cam Higbee. Make sure to subscribe to the original creator. Check him out. I'll have his video again in the description and on the card at the end of the video. Make sure to like both this video and Cam's video. And let us get into it.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Do you want to talk? I'm good.
I'm alright.
What do you think about the recent events?
I don't like to see anyone killed,
Yeah, same.
but I am kind
You know what? No,
of
not gonna say
people
anything.
get killed a lot of times in this country, and
Sure.
I kind of find all the outpouring for someone who really had almost no idea existed. I mean, I knew he existed.
Yeah, but I think
only tangentially existed, and it's totally different scale, a couple orders of magnitude more than what happened when the legislators got shot or when the kids. I mean, there have been like 2 school shootings this week.
yeah,
Okay, I just want to stop right here Because this idea that people only started this outcry now after an assassination attempt and nobody was showing the same energy for like other shootings and deaths that happened prior to this is just inherently retarded. It's stupid. It's dumb. I'll be the first one to say it's dumb. Because there have been many people on both the left and right who have publicly stated that they do not like and they would wish to see no more violence of any kind occurring in this country. So this idea that this only started because of Charlie Kirk when a lot of people didn't even know him is inherently stupid. It's stupid. And it's just a way to devalue the loss of human life, which is morally apprehensible, in my opinion.
I agree.
Why are we dollarizing a guy who I think was pretty vile in a lot of ways?
Charlie Kirk was fine. I just give me 1 second here. Oh, actually, no. I'll save that for the other video. Nope, I won't. I won't do it. But Charlie Kirk was not violent. Charlie Kirk was not racist. He wasn't transphobic. He wasn't homophobic. He wasn't any of these things that people on the left call him. Like, he just wasn't. And this is coming from a black man. You can check my socials. You can see that I am, in fact, black. Charlie Kirk was not racist. All he ever did was try to empower the black community. And the fact that none of these black people can see this, as we saw with the recent mobbing that Cam Higby faced on a Tennessee or was it Texas HBCU college campus, that all of these black kids, all these black college students are acting like monkeys. And I don't mean that in any racial sense. I mean their actions reflect that of a monkey, a literal zoo animal. And if they can't see that and others don't want to acknowledge that, that is of nobody else's fault but their own. Because anybody with a brain would be able to see that they're acting like wild animals. And then they sit there and wonder, oh, why are we treated like how we perceive we're being treated even though we're not? Because you act like that. Like maybe if you acted with just a modicum of human responsibility, accountability, and sympathy, maybe you wouldn't feel like you're being treated as a lesser person. Maybe you wouldn't. But I don't know though. Because I'm whitewashed. I'm a white supremacist. I'm a fucking Twix. Apparently. Because I don't think that the black community is being oppressed by white people in America. Because they aren't. Because I think that black people should get off their fucking asses, go outside and get a job and start fucking trying to do something with their life instead of sitting around like useless cockroaches staining society. I'm the white supremacist here. Charlie Kirk is the racist here. But sure.
And
I don't think Charlie was vile, but I think the reason that there's an outpouring of support for Charlie is because what he was doing and what he was killed in the process of doing is really a representation of America. He was sitting on a college campus behind a table just like this one, and he was espousing his opinions. You don't have to agree with those opinions, and you also don't have to agree with the information he uses to back those opinions up. But the fact is he was sitting on a college campus talking about his ideas, which is what America's all about, and I think that's why there's an outpouring of support for Charlie. From people right and left. Not just from people like me who flew out twice a year to listen to him speak. I think it's, like you said, from everybody.
Yeah.
I fundamentally disagree with you.
Like I was growing up in a Democratic household. All of my family has the basis of, oh, we have to vote left because only the left has black people's needs in mind, even though it's been shown multiple times over the last decade that the left could not give two flying fucks about the black community. And the only people actually doing something for black people in America is the right, as seen by Donald Trump being the one to fund, cut a lot of funding from these Ivy League schools like Harvard and giving it to fund HBCUs around the country. Yet Donald Trump is racist. Yet I'm racist. Yet Charlie Kirk was racist for saying that. I just don't understand it. Like, we've all seen it. We all know BLM was it was a scam. It was a rug pull. It was a scam. And the majority of black people who think that BLM was not a scam and that it was useful to them, that it was helping them succeed in life, even though that was proven multiple times throughout multiple studies and shown by the director of the organization and the leaders of the movement that they could not give two fucks about the black community. They were doing this for virtue signaling points and to take your tax dollars. Yet, the moment anything black is being brought up, as long as it's the left bringing black people up, then that means that it's perfectly fine. And it's that sort of mindset. It's that stupid ass hood mentality that has black people in the situation that we are in now, where 75% of them are so retarded, so stuck in a victim mindset that they can't get up and live their fucking life like Americans, like citizens of the United States. That is why you are down. That is why you are living in poverty. Because you can't get up off your ass and do something. Do anything with your life. All you can do is cry on social media about how, I'm being oppressed. Virtue signaling shit. And how all white people are racist. Inherently, for some retarded reason. Like, please, for 1 second, just look at the picture and stop living in your own delusion. Sorry.
Why do you think it is?
I've read, I think
Continue the video.
Kind of vile. And
what did he say that was vile? And being vile doesn't mean you should be killed.
No.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely not. Nobody. A lot of people think my opinions are vile. I don't want anyone to shoot me.
100%.
I don't know what your opinions are.
You probably think they're vile.
But when you say things like, when I get on a plane and I see a black pilot.
Again, bringing up an out of context and misquoted response that Charlie gave. It's seen all over. He was specifically talking about DEI and how because of DEI, because of the systems put in place by DEI, you can't actively trust, you can't just knowingly trust that your pilot, black, woman, whatever the hell, is going to be like certified and actually a good pilot because of DEI. Without DEI, anybody who was a pilot, people could be assured that, oh, yeah, I'm in good hands. This person is a pilot. They've been certified by the government to fly this plane. I don't have to worry about that. But when DEI came into effect, oh, well, this black guy, I mean, yeah, he's a pilot, but I don't know if he's qualified because, like, now they're just handing out these licenses to anybody, letting anybody be a doctor, pilot, and anything. Like, I don't know if I can trust this. I'm probably not going to get on the plane. A basic thought, pattern recognition. The human brain is built for pattern recognition. I'm going to calm down. I'm getting too heated. Turn my fan up. Sorry if you can hear it, but I don't care right now.
And I just hope he's qualified to fly a plane.
Where did Charlie say that?
I mean, you can look it up. I probably don't have the word. I'm sure.
You can look it up, but nobody ever bothers to bring the evidence about it. It's whatever.
I don't have the words exactly right, but yes, he did say that. That's basically saying that every black person is strongly implying that every black person is incompetent.
Implying but not saying. He never once said that all black people who ever fly a plane aren't qualified because they're black. He said they're not qualified because DEI. He said he's scared and apprehensive about getting on a plane with a black pilot because he doesn't know whether or not they're actually certified for their skills or certified because of the color of their skin. That is not racist. That is a normal thought that normal humans have.
Only got their job because of some program, and there's zero evidence to say that black pilots are causing the death of a lot of people. I think
nobody ever said that black pilots are causing the death of a lot of people. Literally, no one has ever said that. There are actual studies you can go and look for yourself that show that 50%, as required by these DEI systems, 50% of all black pilots, all Hispanic pilots, all female pilots are unqualified, like, by skill, because they were just implemented and forced through the system because of one of their physical attributes. That is just a fact.
that's a pretty violent.
I understand.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what I think. So I understand why you would think that based on those words. If he said them, I don't know if he did. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to fact check in the video and we'll see if he actually said it. If he did, to your credit, he said it. But I don't know if he did or not. So we'll look it up. But what I would say about that is it's not him saying that all black pilots are unqualified because they're black. It seems as though there is distrust created by a system that intentionally hires people for inalienable characteristics over merit.
Exactly.
And that's undeniable. United, Delta, Southwest, they all have DEI programs that intentionally hire people based on certain characteristics over merit. Now, it doesn't mean those people aren't qualified, but it doesn't mean that they're...
It doesn't mean that they're qualified, but it also doesn't mean that they are, like, the best fit to fly. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that they aren't qualified, but it also doesn't mean that they are the best fit to fly a plane. There could be a better person that would have a lesser chance of getting in an accident while flying than a person hired through DEI. through DEI. That's just a fact.
Sometimes less qualified. I'm sure there are lots
If I
of.
see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Do you understand how people might feel that way when it's not because he's black? Again, like before affirmative action or absent DEI programs, that thought would never cross your mind.
Exactly. Because if you see a pilot, regardless of physical characteristics, you're going to be like, oh, they're qualified. I'm perfectly fine with that. Unless you're like actually racist or actually sexist or something, that would be a normal thought. You would be like, oh, this person is a pilot. That means they are qualified because they were hired due to their skill. I trust them. Normal thought. When DEI was introduced, however, it turned into, I don't know if I can trust this person, because what if they were hired because of a physical characteristic and not because of their merit? So you're apprehensive because of that.
Because they're black. It
Again,
seems as though
a normal
it's
thought.
not against them, it's against the people who hired them and why they hired them. Because all of these airlines have DEI programs that do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Fundamentally do not.
That's
believe
fine.
that.
You don't have to agree.
You don't have to
I
agree,
think
but it
that's
is a fact.
vile opinion. I think that is.
How is that vile? How is that a vile? Oh man! Oh, I'm not gonna get pissed off. I'm not gonna get pissed off. I'm not gonna get heated. I can't get heated. I can't get heated.
Well, think about, if you're a black pilot, you're probably thinking the same thing. I know lots of women, because women are also major beneficiaries of DEI and affirmative action, who have literal imposter syndrome because they don't feel like they belong in the place that they are.
Yes, exactly. I know. I'm friends with people online who have told me that exact thing. I feel like I'm inferior to others because I was hired while these DEI practices are in place. So I don't know if I was hired for my skill or for my physical characteristics, which would make you feel bad and would make you feel icky. Like, knowing that somebody hired you just because of your physical characteristics to meet some quota, like, that's racist. But apparently in these people's minds, hiring someone off of merit and not choosing the black person because they don't fit the skill needed to fly a plane is inherently racist. Yet choosing to hire a black person over someone else because they are black isn't racist. I don't get that.
Because they were hired with their characteristic over their merit, and so they feel like they don't belong. It's not just the people around who that person's job affects. It's also the person in that job in the first place. The program shouldn't exist.
That quote, given that there is.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I found it, and I read it.
Can you show me?
Sure.
And what's it from? Snopes. Real Charlie Kirk.
Oh, God.
Can you scroll down to the actual thing? It's a fact check.
Well,
It's a fact check on the Snopes is a fact checking website. Can you scroll down to what it actually said? Okay, correct attribution. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Yeah, I totally understand why he would say that, given the DEI programs that intentionally hire.
As a black person, I would say the same thing. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, I hope this person is qualified. It's a normal thought to have.
Characteristics over merit. With this whole topic, if people were hiring white people because of their characteristics over their merit, I would say the same thing if I saw a white pilot.
Yes.
you don't think in this country we're hiring lots of people based on things other? I mean, you're just totally naive.
We are, but over the past 4
You're calling him naive when you are actively being naive and impugnant here. Like, how is hiring someone for their skill over their merit? I mean, for their skill over the color of their skin, what size boobs they have, whether or not they have a dick and balls or a vagina. How is that racist, sexist, homophobic, whatever, transphobic, whatever the fuck? How? Literally how?
For
Do
years.
not think that in this country we're hiring lots of people.
No, we are. We are, absolutely. The workforce is still majority white, but that's because we're a majority
Yes,
white country.
exactly.
But what I would say
Like,
is that
the country is majority white. That is just a fact. There are more white people than there are people of other races. How is that, like, a gotcha? Like, that's not a gotcha. That's just a fact. You're stating a fact. How does that contribute to your argument? These people don't know how to debate.
there is
Characteristics
there is
that are totally
no
unrelated
there
to
is
the job.
absolutely a concerted effort to hire people based on their inalienable characteristics, like being a woman, being
Yes.
black, being Hispanic, being Asian, etc., because they want a diverse
Yes.
workforce.
Do you
Yes.
feel afraid if there's a black pilot?
No,
I don't particularly feel afraid, but I do totally understand.
I wouldn't feel afraid. I would feel apprehensive because I don't know if they're qualified, but I wouldn't feel afraid just because a pilot's black, just because a pilot's a woman, just because a pilot's Hispanic. No. But would I feel apprehensive because I don't know whether or not they were hired on their merit or not? Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Why Charlie would say, I wonder if the person's qualified, because
And honestly, I probably wouldn't even be on a plane in the first place, considering the fact that I already experience insane motion sickness while in a car. Why would I go on a plane where I'm more than likely going to experience more motion sickness, if not actually throw up? Makes no sense.
I'm not like Charlie.
There are a bunch of factors that can contribute to a person not wanting to fly on a plane, whether it be the pilot and they feel apprehensive about it because they know them, or they're worried about whether or not they're actually qualified or not, if they have a fear of planes, if they have motion sickness, whatever the fuck. There are so many different, like, factors that contribute to this. Actively deciding that you're only afraid of flying just because the pilot is black is racist.
He's not saying I think black pilots are innately unqualified. He's saying that I know the people who hired these people prioritized one thing over another, and that was characteristic over qualification. And that's a fact.
And
It's undeniable.
Why is it a fact? Why is it an undeniable?
Because all of those organizations have
Where's
DEI
your
programs.
reference?
Yeah, go to the United website, go to the Southwest website, go to the Delta website. They all have DEI programs that
Yes.
intentionally hire people.
I will fact check this. I'll go on and fact check this. I'll just check Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines, look here. I don't have it pulled up right. Yeah, but I'll see. Travel, no. Whatever. Go for this. I don't know where I would go for this. I'm too stupid. About us, I guess. Going to the About Us. Purpose. Literally, like, the second thing under sustainability, under our purpose, literally right under sustainability, is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like, I'll show this to you guys. I have to. Like, this is insane. This is wild. Like, look at this. Wait. Oh, gosh. Please tell me. Why? Why must you break? There. Okay. There. Right there. Delta Airlines. Second thing. Look, you scroll down, about Delta. Our destinations, our people, and culture. Second thing that you see. Third thing that you see, Delta is Sentinel. Don't care about it. Our purpose, right here, sustainability, first one. The second one, diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. Delta actively values diversity, boldly pursues equity, and consciously promotes inclusion. We're committed to creating a world where everyone everywhere can thrive. Let's learn more. See what they mean by this. We believe when we reflect and respect the world, we're able to better connect and serve our global customers. Okay, sure. Skills first approach to talent. I highly doubt that. Merit-based opportunities. God, like it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. Why are we giving these people any leeway to act whatsoever? Like, this is so stupid. Easily disproven.
Based on
Show me the evidence. Show
Sure.
me the evidence.
They all intentionally have DEI programs because they want a diverse workforce.
Exactly. It was as you saw right there, it was stated directly that they want to create a diverse workforce. And they are actively doing that. Probably looking at Delta, same as me.
United Airlines was engaged in diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives, including a goal to have 50% of new recruits be women or people of color. Do you think that 50% of all the applicants were women or people of color? No. The majority were probably
Definitely
white men,
not.
but they intentionally didn't hire white men over because they want a diverse workforce.
Yes.
I mean, trying to get your applicant pool is different. Is a very.
But that's not intentionally hiring people of color.
It's not an applicant pool. They're not trying to get their applicant pool to a 50% divide between white people and people of color and women. They're splitting the workforce, actively segregating job opportunities from white people and people of color and women. They're putting people of color and women in the same category because majority of the people who would be applying to be a pilot would be white men, and they're cutting that population of people who would apply to be a pilot, which would be straight white men, like white men. I don't know if they're straight. I don't care. In half, and forcefully injecting black people and women into that, so that they can have an equal statistic of both black, women, Hispanics, whatever the hell, and white people. That is literally what that is doing. You're cutting off job opportunities for others who are more qualified for it, just so that you can have a person that you hired based off of their physical characteristics into that workforce.
It's not how you increase your applicant pool of
Retarded.
being people of color. Hold up. Just let me finish. How you increase your applicant pool of people of color is you go out to conferences and you canvass to students. You don't just say, all right, well, we're going to hire 50% women and people of color, and we're not going to, we're just going to do that in the hiring process. That's a hiring process, not the canvassing process. That's not how. Like SWE is an example of something like the engineering.
What he said did not in any way say they were hiring women or black people
United Airlines was engaged in diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI initiatives with the goal of having 50% of new pilots, pilot recruits be women or people of color. That is an intentional goal in their hiring practice to hire people based on characteristic over qualification.
No.
And that's just one airline.
No, let me speak. Don't interrupt me. That is not what it said. It said the goal was to get this.
Would you like to read it again?
What it said.
Would you like to read it?
You
Like,
interrupt
check.
me constantly. Let me speak. I do not want you to read.
Sure, bud. Check Delta. United Airlines said the same thing. Any other airline you check would have that exact same thing. They're actively choosing to go out and hire with community events, community drives, whatever the hell, so that they can get more black and women applicants so that they can then hire them to create a 50% split in the workforce between white people and black people, while also having an undercut of having both of those halves by men, like to inject women into that as well. That is what that is doing. You cannot deny that fact because, again, it's a fact.
You
I'm
read
going
it.
to give you back your phone.
Okay, you read it. I trust you. Just read it.
But what it said was that was the goal. It did not say whether they were achieving that goal by doing a recruiting program, or they were achieving that goal by hiring people who they thought their qualifications were less. It just does not say that.
It's stated as a hiring goal.
Yeah.
Yes. Does that say
Goals usually indicate that you're planning to reach said goal. Just because you have it stated as a goal doesn't mean that you haven't already reached it. Like what?
that they wanted to achieve that hiring goal by recruiting, or does it say they wanted to achieve that hiring goal by hiring?
How do you achieve a hiring goal? By hiring people of a certain what you're looking for.
First, you recruit people, and then you hire people.
Right. Well, you have to recruit them, and then you hire them. But if you're intentionally looking at people based on their inalienable characteristics and not their qualifications, that's a problem. And that's how you hire people of a certain. If you're looking to hire women and people of color,
you can recruit people.
But that's not how it works. Like if you're trying to hire pilots, you don't just come out and say, "Hi, would you like to be a pilot?" That's not how you recruit people to be a pilot. You look at people who have gone to flight school, people who have have passed their certifications and qualifications to be a commercial pilot, and then you hire them from a pool of existing candidates. Right. And when you're looking at that pool of existing candidates, clearly, based on a 50% women and people of color hiring goal, they are looking at people based on how they look and not how they're qualified they are.
No,
100%.
That's just not true.
I fundamentally disagree with you.
So there's something that neither you nor I have been involved in the hiring of people. There are two ways that this could happen.
I hired this guy right here. This is literally one of my employees. I shit you not.
I didn't say you've never hired anybody, but you've never hired a pilot. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I've never hired a pilot.
Fair enough.
Never hired a pilot.
Have you ever been in any discussion when they're hiring pilots?
No.
Do you know whether they tried to recruit Air Force members, who were black and women to achieve this goal?
Wait, being in the Air Force doesn't make you more qualified.
Exactly. It
could, but there's also other people in the Air Force. The majority of the Air Force is again going to be white.
I have a cousin who's black, who's in the Air Force. I think he's stationed in California right now. Like, what? Just because you're in the Air Force doesn't mean you're more qualified than another person. It just means that you are in the Air Force.
So, like, if you're still intentionally looking at people based on their characteristics and how they look and not their qualifications, it's a problem. Like, it's a problem to its core no matter what. And by the way, all of these airlines admit that they were doing this. This isn't like a hidden, conspiracy theory. They all admit that they were doing this.
Yes.
DEI programs at Meta, they admit they were doing this. They admit that the previous administration was pushing them to do this and to censor information.
Yep.
All of these organizations a lot of them have gotten rid of their DEI programs now. It's a violation of the Civil Rights Act.
Yes.
To hire people based on their characteristics and what they look like and not their qualifications.
Sorry, my computer's lagging like hell. Wait a minute. Let me... Okay, that works. Okay, there we go. Cash Jordan. We'll close this tab because not looking at that anymore. But again, go check out Cam's video. Good video to watch. Check out the rest of his Fearless Tour um series. It's pretty fun watch. Look at all the stuff happening. Sorry about that. But yeah, check that out and like, subscribe, have fun. Yeah. All right. And now we're moving on to I don't know if I want to do this now. Do I want to? Do I want to do it? Do we want to do it? Yes, we do want to do it. It'll bump it up, but hey, not right now. Not right now. We'll do it another day because I'm hungry. It's getting a bit late. And honestly, I'm fucking tired of any of this shit, man. I knew it would be. I knew I should have probably gotten into it at the beginning of stream, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Um. Anyways, uh, I'll catch you guys later. Check out the stream. Check out the YouTube. Check out all my socials. They should be down below. On both Twitch and YouTube. Join the Discord. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.